Now, there are some tips and tricks that you can use and learn. And you can also learn some answers to some common objections. All of that will definitely improve your skill and your success. But without the right closing mindset, all of that will be useless. So, what is the right mindset? First, let me show you what the wrong mindset is. Okay. The wrong mindset is having these thoughts in your mind while you're doing the closing. Like, for example, oh, I really hope that the prospect is impressed. I hope that they like it. I hope they're not going to give me any excuses. No, of course, they're not going to say yes right now on the spot. Definitely, they need to take some time. I hope that, I can get those objections and really handle it so that at least in the next few days, they will join. And I hope that they don't think that I was trying to trap them by being friendly with them before while I was prospecting. Or if you're doing a presentation for your downlines prospect, then having the thoughts that, I hope that my new IR don't get demotivated if this person says no, and I hope that the new person, the new IR doesn't think that the business is not good, or the company is not good if this prospect rejects. All these are thoughts that go on in majority of networkers' mind when they go for closing after the presentation. And all these thoughts make your posture weak and it drains out your confidence. And some uplines, they, after the presentation, only handle some objections and then put the majority of the responsibility onto the new IR to follow up and close their prospect. And that is one of the worst mindset one can have as a working upline. So what is the right mindset? Can you actually have a strong posture even at closing? See, most people think that they can only have a strong posture when they are doing prospecting, and they think that as soon as my prospect comes to know that this is network marketing, then I will not be able to show any posture and I will just have to depend on the law of averages. See, law of average is for the 90% of the networkers who don't have the right mindset and also don't have the skills. So the thought I want you to have when you are doing the closing immediately after the presentation is this. The thought that, okay, let me see if this guy is smart enough to have grasped the business. Okay, not everyone grasps the potential and this, the huge scope of this business in the first shot. So let us see if this guy is smart enough. See, just that change in thought as to let me evaluate that person as opposed to I don't know what he's going to think about me or my business. Just that thought flips the whole situation of posture and confidence in your mind. So now that becomes an extremely powerful mindset to go in and start doing the closing conversation. So the thought I would have is, okay, let me see if this guy is a leader or if he is someone I will need to push across the finish line. Okay, let me check that person out. It'll be fun to discover what kind of person it is. Now, having this kind of belief gives you that posture even while you're closing, and that will help you do the correct activities with that posture, which will definitely reflect on you getting better results. So the belief is that you are checking the prospect out and not the other way around. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, let me check out this prospect's mindset and let me see if that person is a leadership material or not. And if they are not, no problem. Let me at least see if they are going to be a good team player and a good follower. Now, if they are not going to be a leader material and also not a good team player material, then I might not be interested in that person. Then that person will become an obstacle for the growth of the whole team. And after all, there are millions of qualified prospects out there in the world. So I don't need, I'm not desperate to get a person who's not suitable for my business, which will at the end harm my business. And if they are a follower material, then I can practice my skills and see if I can lead them out of their own excuses and their own limiting beliefs. So I get to practice on that person, my leadership skills, if I can help them to overcome their limiting beliefs. See, for me personally, closing is the best practice field for working with people to helping them overcome their limiting beliefs. Now, you cannot help people overcome their limiting beliefs by lecturing. Okay, it is done skillfully through questions, by giving examples, by giving confidence, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a pull. So all those things need to be done to help people overcome their limiting beliefs. And for me, closing is one of the best areas to practice that with a person. And the main reason why somebody don't sign up is, after all, because of some limiting belief they have, right? Either the limiting belief about, failure, or, a fear, things like that. All right. So now I am going in for closing with, first of all, with the mindset to discover if this prospect is a leader or not. And if the person is not a leader, then the second thing is, let me see if I can help them to overcome their own limiting belief. And even if after doing everything that I know, if they still cannot overcome their own limiting belief, then there's nothing I can do. At least I tried. They're not lucky enough to work with me. Maybe after a few weeks, after a few months, or after a few years, maybe this person will get enough courage in their life, in themselves, and then I can try and, approach them at that time. So I don't have the mindset of, I'm going to beg, or I'm going to ask the prospect for a favor or anything like that. I am doing the prospect a favor. If the prospect's limiting beliefs are stopping them, I will do my best to help them through questions and examples and pulling and pushing and all that stuff. But it is their mindset and their life after all. And I am not going to forcefully try and convince someone who is not suitable for the business. That is my mindset. But the people with the wrong mindset, the moment they are not able to convince a prospect, they go into depression, and they think that it is somehow their fault, or their business's fault, or the company's fault, or the product's fault, or the upline's fault, or somebody's fault that this prospect is not convinced. And because of that, they take rejection personally, and it affects their own self-esteem. For me, I want to do my best to remove as many future objections as possible, other than the business and product specific objections. So any possible objections that might come up regarding money, time, let me think about it, this is not my cup of tea, I'm not interested. These kind of objections, I want to do my best to eliminate this right at the prospecting stage. Okay, let me give you one example. Towards the end of the qualification discussion, if I feel that the prospect is really qualified, the desire is serious, then I might ask something like, hey, listen, if you are convinced 100% and you believe for sure that by working on this online model that you're going to see, that will help you achieve the goals that you said you wanted to achieve, is there anything that will prevent you from getting started and making money using that? Can you think of anything at all? And then I shut up and wait for the answer. Okay. And if the person says nothing, then I would ask the next question, which will eliminate one possible objection after the presentation. Okay. With respect to when they want to get started, like they want to wait for some time or get started right now. So I can eliminate that objection even before the presentation by asking this question. So I would ask the prospect, okay, so if this is something suitable for you, how soon do you think you can get started once you decide that this is the right thing for you? Is that something, you can get started, you want to get started immediately or after some time? And then I wait for the answer. And then I might ask another question, which can eliminate the I don't have time or I'm busy kind of an excuse or objection after presentation. Okay, so how I do that is by asking the next question, which is, so again, assuming that you like what you see and you believe that by doing it, it can really help you achieve the goals that we spoke about. How much time are you willing to put into learning and practicing it? Okay, now what we have observed is the people who put in at least 1 to 2 hours a day can usually start seeing some income within 2-3 weeks. Okay, and for people who can put in even more time, they can see much bigger income within that same 2-3 weeks period. And usually they will start to recover their startup cost within the first 1 month or so. I really don't think you should even start it if you are aiming for anything lower. So how much time do you think you're willing to put into it? And after I hear the answer for that, then I move on to the next question, which is again aimed towards eliminating the money objection, okay, after the presentation. So I would ask something like, and as you probably know that there is some startup cost, there are some startup expenses in everything, right? You probably know that, correct? The exact amount that you will need to set up an online business would depend on, how big you want to go, a lot of other factors, all right? So the exact amount you can discuss with the people later, but on an average, it would be roughly around $2,000. Now, because these are startup costs, you will be able to put a lot of that into a credit card if that's how you want to do it. But what I'm asking you is, at the end of seeing everything, okay, and if you believe that, yes, by doing it with the help of these people, it will help you achieve the goals that you want, and let us say these people also agree to work with you and you are accepted, you get qualified, will this amount stand in the way of you getting started and achieving your goals? If so, then it will be a waste of time for everyone, including you. So that is why I just wanted to, clarify with you that if that would be an issue for you, okay? And then I listen to the answer. Now, if I want, I can also avoid another objection of, I need to get permission from my husband, wife, father, mother, whatever it is, by asking this next question. Okay, so I would ask the prospect something like, so that's fantastic. If you decide that you have the money and if you like, you can get started. That's very good. Now, is that the kind of decision that you can take by yourself, or do you need to get permission from somebody? And then shut up and listen. Okay, a very important thing after each of these powerful questions is that we shut up and we let the prospect talk. These powerful questions can be made weak if we keep blabbering, if we keep talking after asking these questions, and if we put words into the mouth of the prospect rather than waiting for them to actually talk how they feel. So After each of these questions, I would basically shut up and then wait for the prospect to answer. And if they don't answer even after a few seconds, then I will just repeat the question. That's about it. I am not going to put words into their mouth. By doing that, I will make these questions powerful.